Hey, welcome back. You're with us today, and we're going to look through some study stuff.
Yeah, some serious material.
It's not just like random notes. This is more like getting the inside track, for hitting your goals.
Exactly. We've got class notes here from AcademiaBSB from an English conversations class.
This one was from February 26th, 2025, for a student, John Denise.
Yep, that's the one.
And why look at these notes? Well, because this whole class, this session, it was all about getting English skills ready.
Ready for something big.
Yeah, like a major high school test. The notes mention the Mackenzie exam, for instance.
So think of this as your strategy session. We're using these notes like a game plan.
We're going to unpack what happened in that class and why it matters for, doing well on that test.
Let's give it a cool title, like a study guide name.
Okay, how about exam mode? Let's hack these English notes. Sound good?
Love it. Let's do it.
Okay. So the main thing for this class, this specific one, was review.
Just review, focused, planned right before the exam.
Which is smart, right? Total power move.
Definitely.
Reviewing things just before a big test doesn't matter what subject, English verbs or figuring out aerodynamics for a car build. It's super important. That's when it all kind of clicks, sticks in your brain.
It's like the pit stop before the race.
Yeah.
Right. Making sure everything's tight.
Totally. Okay, let's look inside the notes now. The source material shows the sections.
Yeah, it gives us a map of what they covered, what they reviewed.
Seems pretty structured, like
Yeah.
a system, hitting all the key things you need for a big English exam.
Exactly. It's methodical.
First thing listed, vocabulary building.
Right. This is like getting more tools
Yeah,
for your language toolbox.
makes sense.
Yeah. Growing your vocabulary is, you just have to do it. It's not about just memorizing words randomly, though. It's knowing which words to use and when to use them. Super important for understanding readings and for writing clearly.
Or speaking.
Totally. And the notes mention examples, like rural as the opposite of urban, or understanding entitled to from a past class review. That shows it's not just definitions, it's about how the word works, the context. That's key for exam questions, right? Multiple choice writing stuff.
Exactly. It's like you don't just need to know a screwdriver exists. You need to know how to use it.
Good one. Okay, so you know the word,
Yeah.
but just as important is how it sounds. That's next. Pronunciation guidance.
Yep. Very important.
But why? If the test is mostly written, why practice saying words?
Or good question. It's not just for speaking tests. Practicing how words sound helps lock them in your memory.
Oh, okay.
And it helps your listening, too. You recognize the sounds when you hear them. It even helps reading, like sounding out new words in your head.
Ah, gotcha. So it builds the whole picture of the word in your mind.
Precisely. Building the complete mental model.
Okay. Next in the notes, language usage.
So this goes beyond just one word at a time.
Right.
It's how words work together in phrases, how sentences are built, how language changes depending on, the situation.
Like talking to friends versus writing an essay. Exactly that. It's like having car parts versus knowing how they fit together so the engine actually runs.
Nice. And talking about things fitting together weirdly, idiomatic expressions. These are tough.
Oh, yeah. They can really catch you out if you don't know them.
Definitely.
Idioms. They're phrases where the meaning isn't, like, obvious. Pulling your leg, right?
Yeah.
No actual pulling involved.
Yeah.
Understanding them is crucial for natural English. You hear them in conversations, see them in reading sometimes. They add flavor and meaning. You'll miss stuff if you take them literally.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You just got to learn them. Like learning a corner on a racetrack, no guessing. You need the line.
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Okay, after idioms, the notes get into grammar.
Ah, yes. The rules. The structure.
Pretty much. Grammar is the framework. It lets us build sentences, build ideas that other people can understand.
Yeah. And the notes mention prepositions. Like knowing you live in a village, but the meeting is on Monday.
Little words, big difference.
Getting those small grammar things right. It's like making sure bolts are tight on your car. One loose bolt, things rattle.
Oh.
Or worse.
Exactly. Grammar's the chassis, holds it all together, gives you clarity.
So important. Okay, moving on through the notes. Reading.
Reading skills. Huge for any exam, really.
And just for learning anything, you have to be able to read something and actually get it.
Absolutely. The notes talk about reading a passage, about students sharing notes and answering questions.
Standard practice.
Yeah. But it helps you find main ideas, find details, figure out what the writer means, even if they don't say it directly. It trains you for exam questions, trains your brain to process text.
Right. Training your, analytical engine. Good. Then comes writing.
Okay, writing. This is where you put it all together. Use the vocab, use the grammar, structure your thoughts.
I like the performance test, yeah. Can you take what you learned and make something clear, coherent?
Exactly. Practice writing really shows you what you know, and maybe where you're still a bit shaky.
Helps it stick, too.
Definitely. It's active application. The notes also cover listening.
Can't forget listening. Super important. You can know words, know grammar, but if you can't understand when someone talks, you're missing out.
For sure. Understanding instructions, conversations, or, the listening part of the exam. It's basic.
Need to recognize words, how people talk naturally. The rhythm, the speed.
All of it. It takes practice.
And the last skill area mentioned is speaking training.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is often like the big goal, putting it all together. Vocab, grammar, pronunciation, listening, and actually talking spontaneously.
Effectively.
The whole package, getting all the skills running together on the track. So this whole list, vocabulary, pronunciation, usage, idioms, grammar, reading, writing, listening, speaking, it's not random.
Not at all.
Each one is like a system, part of the whole engine. They all work together for your English performance.
For the exam, yeah, but also just...
for talking to people.
They're all connected, interlinked, like parts of a high-performance machine. And working on these skills, that's how you get better, right?
Yeah.
Within that CEFRL thing, like moving up levels.
Exactly. Actively working on these specific skills is how you progress through the common European framework of reference for languages. Specifically, moving through B1.
Okay, so CEFRL is like a map for language learning.
Sort of, yeah. B1 means you can handle certain things, understand main points, deal with most situations, make simple sentences, describe stuff.
Got it.
And practicing all these skills we talked about. That strengthens your B1 ability. And it gets you ready for the next level, like B2, which demands more complex skills.
It's like leveling up in a video game. Putting points into grammar or vocab makes your English avatar stronger.
Huh. I like that. A good way to think about it.
And tracking it helps you see where you're awesome and where you maybe need to grind a bit more to boost your power level for the exam.
And speaking of tracking, the notes mentioned class stats.
Oh, yeah. The numbers, the metrics. What did they list?
Vocabulary growth.
Yeah.
Comprehensive lexicon repertoire. Oral fluency and speech engagement span.
And phonetic deviation ratio. Sounds technical.
They're just ways AcademiaBSB measures specific things. To see how a student's doing gives you actual data.
Like a diagnostic check on an engine.
Yeah.
Okay. So vocabulary growth is how many new words you're using.
Probably something like that. How many you recognize or use actively.
And comprehensive lexicon repertory. That sounds fancy.
It likely means the range of your vocabulary, not just how many words, but the variety, using precise words for different topics.
Okay. Oral fluency and speech engagement span. How smooth you talk.
Yeah, how smoothly without too many pauses or how long you can talk for. Keep the conversation going.
Makes sense. Last one, phonetic deviation ratio. How weird do you sound?
Well, maybe how close your pronunciation is to like a standard sound. It helps find spots where pronunciation might make it hard for people to understand you.
Gotcha. So these stats are like performance gauges. Show your strengths, show where to focus to get better for the exam.
Exactly. Maximum impact for your study time.
Cool. Okay, so we did the review goals, broke down the notes, linked it to B1, looked at the stats. But the source also mentions the students.AcademiaBSB, the method.
Right. This is important. The class session itself, it's just one part of a bigger system.
Learning doesn't just, stop when the class ends.
Nope, you don't just show up for practice and expect to win, right?
For real. Got to do the work off the track, too.
Exactly. The methodology.
Yeah.
It stresses what happens after class.
Okay, now, switching gears a bit here. We got to be real for a sec. Friendly real, you know?
Yeah. What's up?
All right, man, listen up. This is important. That methodology, it means you got to hit those notes again after class.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Review is key.
Totally key. And those exercicios digitates, the digital exercises the source mentioned.
The homework.
Yeah. Dude, you got to do them. Seriously, they're not just, optional extras. They're part of the whole deal.
Absolutely. They're integral. That practice reinforces everything from the class.
It's like the class is the coach giving you the plays. But reviewing notes, doing those exercises, that's the workout. Builds the muscle memory for the exam. Gets that knowledge from short term.
And the long-term memory. Locked in ready to go under pressure.
Exactly. It's not just knowing it, it's being able to use it automatically. When that exam timer is ticking, these exercises